Well, the thing is, Skywrath Mage is actually a solid hero against the PA until she gets a BKB. You get something like a Sand King, you get something along those lines, and the PA just dies every single time. Sand King actually wouldn't be
Right.
that bad of a pick here, though. PA being a very strong laner and Jakiro as well, it is dangerous to pick something like it. But a stun in the offlane that is gonna set up for the Mystic Flare is something that you want to do, and Bane is gonna be played in the position 5, and Skywrath Mage is most definitely gonna be played in the position
Okay.
4 in the off lane. It's
All right.
unless I kind of feel like Bane is better against the Io and the Mars. Skywrath Mage harasses, but he doesn't have sustain. Whereas Bane, he has sustain. You want to
Yep, yep.
put him against the Io and the Mars, even though CIS Rejects have swapped it out a few times. And there's the Sand King.
Yeah. I think that's the benefit of FNG and Roger kind of both mixing around who plays 5, who plays 4, but I think FNG is more the 5 hero in the end. So, yeah, he will bring up that Bane and Roger for the offlane with the Skywrath. So Skywrath and Sand King. We talked about PA being a strong laner, but you look at the amount of magical damage you're going up against. That's not going to be a fun lane for a PA to live in.
Well, it depends. Pretty much who gets the first strike in a sense that maybe removes like 30-40% HP from the enemy is gonna be in such a huge advantage. And I'm not sure now if you go for the Caustic Finale on the Sand King and just with the Skywrath Mage try to push in, the Jakiro with his Dual Breath will be pushing in as well. So pretty much who pushes in the first wave is gonna have such a huge advantage. Might actually get a first blood on that lane. So it's a tough one. Sand King, naturally not the strongest of laners, but if he gets off to a good start, gets like level 4 relatively fast, he can be incredibly powerful. And his Blink Dagger timing is something that you have to look out for. But on the other hand, it's a double-edged sword, which whereas sometimes you can just be crushed so freaking hard, and PA and the Jakiro
Yeah.
definitely have the potential to kill you multiple times.
That's something you got to be watching out for. So definitely if Jakiro is able to secure a good lane for the Phantom Assassin, slowing down the SK, enabling the PA to rotate out from that lane early on, then that can play a big role with the safe lane versus off lane matchup into the bottom lane of the map. So once we're heading over to our final bans as well, we see the Ember, we see the Lina come out on the ban list. We are now looking for what heroes do we exactly would like to see here, because we talked about that mid-Husker, which we don't want to see.
I kind of, for Winstrike, want to see a Lesh. The reason for it, they're lacking a little bit of tower push, fast tower push, that you, when you come to the tower and you just get it down, and just a great hero with the IO. PA, not the best hero with the IO. You don't really need the IO to bring down heroes, and you need some of that magical burst. So heroes that go well with the Wisp, the Storm, the Lash do come to mind as really strong ones, and BKB carriers, it is something that you want to go for. That's why they ban out the Lean and the Batrider, because those heroes, they pretty much buy BKB immediately.
What about Tinker? Depressed Kid has played Tinker before, and they have last pick. So, what do you like this matchup for a Tinker potentially?
Depends on what they pick up. It's gonna be a Void Spirit. He naturally builds into a Yules, so no. Right now, the counter to the Tinker is a Yules. There's no other counter. The Storm, the Zeus, those heroes just don't work. The Spectre, but the Yule Scepter does work. And now, when you see the Void Spirit, the hero that naturally goes for it. It is not gonna be easy to pick up a Tinker. So something like a Ember Spirit comes to mind, but he has been banned, and they'll go for the DP.
All right, let's pull out the tankiness, bring out the DP. That will be a Depressed Kid's hero, and of course, the man who has been filling in the blanks for Winstrike. We're looking at Larl on the Void Spirit into this mid lane. He has been a player we're going to be talking about a lot, and I hope later on today, as our panel will also be joining after the first 3 series, or maybe 4, at least until the later parts of the tiebreakers, for them to actually talk about Larl and maybe if they found something that we haven't, because this guy has been a crucial piece of the team, replacing Dodrin, who's been unable to play where he is located right now. So with Larl bringing Winstrike into the tiebreakers, potentially taking down CIS Rejects would be a fantastic start for the tiebreakers for them.
Yeah, it would be, and I think they got this one, Winstrike. The reason why I think so is that CIS Rejects, they have to play this tempo game. They're very reliant on the Sand King having a good lane and just going around the map, killing people with Pasha and Roger. When you look at Winstrike, they have this PA, and on the side of CIS Rejects, not a single agility hero, which means that these guys just get cut down at any point in the game. Yes, the DP does go for a Shiva's Guard somewhere down the line, but the thing is, you have such a big mix of magical and physical damage on the side of Winstrike that you don't really know how to itemize in this one. You would need a Hood, you would maybe need a Yules, you would need the BKB, but then just the PA comes in and he cuts you down. And I think a lot of it will be decided in the safe lane of Winstrike or the off lane of CIS Rejects, because if the Sand King gets a pretty fast blink, and you continue hunting with the Skywrath Mage and the Sand King, that's gonna be great. But if the Sand King has a bad time and you delay his timing quite a lot, it is gonna be problematic. Of course, both of the teams not having good push, apart from the Jakiro, let's put him in that category, I guess, is gonna allow the PA to farm a little bit more. And of course, you look at teamfight. Defensive teamfight is better on Winstrike. We're looking at the Mars in particular. So going in on a tower, just using Exorcism and coming to a tower, if Winstrike are prepared, it will be detrimental for CIS Rejects. So I think that Winstrike, they have pretty clear goal here. Just don't mess up the lane against the Sand King, and make sure that every single time the DP wants to go in for a tower, respond with the Mars, respond with the Jakiro, and you will have enough damage to kill her. So with all of that being said, I do think Winstrike have a little bit of a better chance in this one.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that rolls out. The Huck is going to be picking up a Blightstone to go with. Noticed triple gauntlets. Kunk also triple gauntlets and double on Pasha's Sand King. So there's a lot of tankiness, a lot of extra HP kicking into. So we're looking at Orb of Corrosion PA right away.
Yeah, he always goes for that one, and considering that you're playing with the Jakiro, the slows are just gonna be insane.
Yeah.
So that is the idea. Push in the first wave, get level 2 first, get a kill, or at least force out all of the region out from the Sand King, get that fast Orb of Corrosion, and then the lane becomes very, very dangerous for the side of CS Rejects. There's also gonna be a lot of sentry wars on the bottom lane, but Soneko having 2 sentries and Roger having only 1 already gives a slight advantage to Winstrike. Of course, you can outplay them, but it's very rarely gonna happen.
Well, talking about rarities, seeing these two teams match up the last time they played against each other's, I think the result was maybe a tiny bit different, since they played on week 5, and Winstrike was the one to beat CIS Rejects, and that win solidified their spot, basically, because they were in for the challenge. And then after they beat V Gaming 2-0 in the final game, basically, of the Eastern European Division, they solidified the tiebreakers. But the situation wasn't easy for either team. So as we're on a bit of a tech pause, might as well go on the week-by-week status. So CIS Rejects started off in first place. Winstrike was in tied 5th after losing their first series, and they scored a victory on the second. CIS Rejects continued to be undefeated, went 2-0. But then their third week, they suffered their first loss, and that was against V Gaming, which was a bit of a, could almost say, surprise. V Gaming, team that came in pretty hot into the group stages. They were already looking pretty good in the open qualifiers, though CIS Rejects was the team to take the open qualifier spot first. So the first qualifier only had 1 spot available, and these two teams didn't meet. We're talking about B Gaming and CIS Rejects. They did not meet each other's in the first qualifier. It was Cybercats who dropped V Gaming, despite Cybercats never actually making it into the group stages here. But Winstrike on week 4, they were just 1 win behind the rest of the open qualifier trio, the CIS Rejects, Hydra, and V Gaming, all tying up for first place. So close the whole time, and only on week 6 with their continuous win streak were they able to catch up with the rest of them, because it felt like the top teams, they kind of fell short and allowed Winstrike to get back in the race.
Yeah, I think Winstrike started playing a lot better. I don't know if it's the addition of Larl or if it's just them kind of getting some things straighted out during the break. Yeah, maybe both. Either way, when they played against the CIS Reject, they played the PA twice. Once the Hawk just destroyed them, the other one he was beaten. The thing is, when he was beaten, he was playing against a Medusa, so there was a agility here on the other side that is gonna survive the PA. This is kind of a draft from CIS Rejects that I'm just so freaking afraid. It kind of looks similar to their draft in the first game that they played against Winstrike in that week 5, where the PA just had a free game. He was playing against all strength and intelligence heroes, and pretty much none of them had the armor necessary to survive the crits later on in the game. And the Hawk, I think in the Division 2, he has shown that he's the best PA. Really, he has played it the most times, if I'm not mistaken. I think I'm not, and he has done pretty well most of the times. Top lane though, Rams is getting a bit of a poke.
Yeah, saying hello to his fellow opponents. Force Major noticed the offlane duo for Winstrike. They've had some good results overall. I feel like Force Major on some of his heroes has been, I wouldn't necessarily say one of the best Pos 4 players in this tournament, because I feel like the Pos 4 role has been one of the hardest for anyone to actually play during the course of this DPC, or at least in Eastern European 2nd Division, because you don't really have any like memorable Pos 4 player during the course. It's like Seiyu, for example, nah. Looking at Laguna from base, and it's like, well, who is this guy? Like, what happened? Muka, maybe from Hydra, is someone you can highlight as probably one of the best Pos 4 players out there. And Rogers had his moments too, but still, kind of, you could say, mediocre performances from everybody. It's really down to the offlaners, the mid players, and the Pos 5s especially. Like, the Pos 5 battle is huge. We're looking at Soneko, and we're looking at FNG. Slash Roger, since they both kind of swap around on that role. And they're actually looking for first blood onto this Bane, and that is a possible one. Dagger's going to be off cooldown in 2 seconds. The slow from the liquid fire. Dagger's going to be available, and Hawk's going to be picking up first blood for Winstrike.
That is pretty weird coming out from CIS Rejects, but I guess it's not the worst of things, considering that the Hawk missed almost a full wave, and of course the Sand King did get some free experience, so at least that's going to be going their way. With the Bane laning on the bottom lane, with the Bane laning on the bottom lane, it goes to show that CIS Rejects are putting a lot of emphasis there. As I said, Roger, he can harass, but of course the IO will probably be able to kind of heal the Mars through all of that damage. Though Kunkka naturally a pretty solid laner against the IO Mars, just because he pushes in the lane and constantly harasses.
But I do kind of want to touch the topic again of Pos 4s and Pos 5 players. Do you agree?
That we haven't seen a lot of memorable position 4 plays. Yeah, I definitely agree on that one.
Because when you're looking at other regions, you can definitely remember, like, oh, this guy, like China region, for example, like Pos 4s and their heroes are like absolutely amazing. But in Division 2 here in CIS, it's been like Pos 4 has been the least recognizable role.
I think it comes down to us not seeing a lot of kills in the first 10 minutes. The position 4 is the one that usually rotates for the runes, that goes for those kills, and considering that the early game has usually been passive, not in the last week, but overall, I think that's why we don't see them shine. They kind of just do their job, which at the end of the day isn't that bad. And MFG on the bottom lane, again, they go for him, but this time around, the Enfeeble, it pretty much doesn't allow PA to do anything.
Yeah, that hinders PA's capability by quite a lot, and that's buying more and more time for the Sand King. He's now level 2 and halfway, and actually has 1 CS more than the Phantom Assassin, though there is a double wave currently pushing in the lane at the moment. So Jakiro's got his hands filled with this, but might as well take a quick glimpse into mid as we see Laurel with 12 CS on the Void, and DP with 15, so Depressed Kid, you gotta always be careful of that Crypt Swarm that hits like a truck.
Yeah, it is something the Void Spirit pretty much can't dodge. Naturally, this lane is gonna be going into DP's favor. The Spirit Siphon doesn't even break with the Dissimulate if you position yourself properly, and he didn't even go for it for now, Laurel. So he is struggling, and DP, one of the stronger laners, she has been that for a very long time. Has good animation, has good ways to secure the range creep, and of course a lot of damage in bottom lane. They're going for Pasha, but that Enfeeble, man, that is annoying.
Going going to be very hard to break through as well, because it gives so much for this Sand King. Despite him being low HP, he's not in big threat, is he? Because double sentries down by FNG, so he can allow the Sand King to just safely sandstorm in it. And Soneko is going to have to bring out some more wards, and he's got double sentries on the courier. So this is really a battle to slow down the Sand King as much as possible, because of the scenario that you've been painting to us, or painting for us, basically, that they have to keep the Sand King up and running. And Soneko's low on HP, but Posh is too far away to land the Burrow Strike. Actually walks into melee range, and that might be a kill right there, and that will be. So that's a bit of an optimistic move. 2 steps too close to the Sand King, who walks right towards you, and suddenly you're in stun range and you're dead.
This is a perfect scenario for CIS Rejects. Their Sand King is having a lane. Usually you would see the Sand King struggle so much, but FNG, despite that first blood giveaway, is going to be securing this lane quite nicely. He doesn't even go for a point in Nightmare. He just goes for the Enfeeble, making sure that the PA doesn't do the damage. This is just amazing. I kind of feel like Soneko died on purpose there. He didn't have any resources, and he wanted to come back into the lane. The Jakiro, he's a very mana-hungry hero, so it does make sense. And Winstrike, we're really starting to lose this one, so I guess you do want to die there as fast as possible, so it's not going to be the worst death in the world.
Yeah, they got rid of both sentries too here in this lane now, with just 1 sentry placed. So Soneko has another one. And does Bane have more wards on the way? It doesn't look like it right now. Cheat down to 350 HP. Pasha goes in for the stun onto the PA, trying to harass the Huck. Now that level 4 Sand King has much more reach, much more damage. Torrent used into the top lane on the Mars. Bit of a slow coming out from Roger. Tries to nuke out this Notice Mars as much as possible, but unable to go for a kill. While Depressed Kids has been diving under the tower here in mid with Exorcism already used. Unable to catch this Void Spirit, but he finds a juicy stack. Sadly, Larl's going to be the one to farm it, but he's also tanking a lot of damage for it, so he's not going to stay for too long. And now they kind of left the Mars alone at the top lane because Io's stuck in mid trying to keep this Void Spirit alive.
Yeah, you have to defend the towers. We talked about it in the press kid. The reason why he's going for an exorcism so early on, just to push the tower, is because the Mars isn't ready to fight. When the Mars is ready to fight, the turnaround potential will be there for Winstrike. So I'm liking this one. In the mid lane tower, that is the one that allows you to gank, because if the mid lane tower is gone, the Sand King with a blink will be going around the map quite easily.
Yeah, Io seems to be good though. Bit of a appearance there from Roger and Depressed Kid. Soneko finds a double bounty rune unpicked by the DP, because DP's been so busy with this mid lane, and FNG and Posh has just been sitting here in bottom. Finds an extra 90 gold for his team. Well, 90 gold per player into the team, so that's a nice amount of extra dosh picked up. Again, using some more dots. Now Ramses is level 6. He's gonna go for the X-Mark boat combo. They should be able to kill the Mars. It's gotta be enough though. 200 HP. Tidebringer not gonna do enough of the right clicks. Will finish off the job. And since Kunkka's got the rum buff, that tower's just tickling this boy.
Yeah, they didn't have the overcharge right off the bat, and because it Force Major couldn't delay that damage. I think Mars dies either way. You're not getting out of that one. The Skyret Mage, well, actually, he didn't have that much mana, 8 sticks. Maybe we would have been able to run him down. But either way, a very nice approach from CIS Rejects, and their 2 cores are getting a lot of farm. And of course, Pasha, he's going for a Ring of Health. I can't say I agree with that one. I would like him to be a bit more aggressive. And Soneko, this is a dead Jakiro yet again.
That is.
Or?
Yeah. A bit of a nightmare set up there for a second, just to toy with their fresh meat at that point. I'm not sure if there's a lot of meat left in that Jakiro, but Skywrath also denied himself onto the tier 3 tower of all things. Make sure that ends up being a split kill. Sky back to full HP, back to full mana. And a kill for CIS Rejects onto the Jakiro. So, kills being awarded here and there. 8-minute action rune spawning. Roger, timely teleport to fill in the bottle for the DP. And DP now has DD and an Exorcism. So Winstrike's got to be careful for that.
So the laning phase went really bad for Winstrike. Pretty much CIS Rejects got everything they wanted, literally everything. And the thing is, Winstrike almost didn't get anything. So the thing, how you win this game now, or how you come back into it, by Winstrike is that you get the power runes onto the Void Spirit. And CIS Rejects, that's why they're playing, that's why they're playing again around the Pressed Kid. If they secure the runes, if they make sure that Laurel can't get the runes, it's gonna be disastrous in this tower. They need to defend this.
Not gonna notice. Nice positioning from the side. There's no silence leveled up, so they only have Roger for it. Might be able to blow up this DP. Yes, they will. Laurel getting the kill. 5-man rotation to save the tower and get a kill. But can they get a secondary? Slow. Crits onto the Bane. They've got a spear available. Bane's going to be sacking his life. Make sure that they get one hero out, and that's going to be the Skywrath living. 2 kills, Exorcism on cooldown. Maybe Winstrike can capitalize on this.
I don't think they can get anything much. They should be happy with what just happened. Every single time you see the DP ulti, there's going to be an arena response, as we mentioned in the draft. This is the hero that you want to kill, the DP. The thing is, CIS Rejects, I think they got a bit greedy. Bringing the Kunkka there probably would have changed the outcome of the engagement, but they just wanted to continue farming on the Kunkka. So with Ramses not being there, the DP was actually an easy grab for them. He is going for a Boots of Travel into a BKB.
No epicenter. Oh, now he leveled it up actually. But at the same time, he's also going to get jumped on. Relocate is coming in from the back, and epicenter has been loaded in, but into the taunt from Laurel, and Notice will be the one to tank it. Passes down. Bane also caught in the ice pad. Spear connection comes out. Ramses is now coming in, and this is a perfect time for the Kunkka to try and look for some kills here, but they're also low. Relocate runs out, and they have disappeared right in the front of the eyes of the Kunkka, and they will have to sack the Mars for it. So it's a 2-for-1 trade, offlane for offlane, and a support on top.
This is the, I think Winstrike are getting a bit ahead of themselves defending the bottom lane, or at least chasing for kills. The bottom lane, you can get a kill and you should be happy with just, okay, I defended the tower for the time being. That is pretty much what happened there. They got ahead of themselves, thinking they can chase for more kills, just not respecting how powerful Ramses is at this point. Look at him. He is almost 6,000 net worth 10 minutes in. He pretty much cuts down everyone. The only reason that PA survived is because the relocate out was from the IO. Just goes to show how powerful he is at this point.
Gotta love the tip trade there. Mars teleported middle. They couldn't get the Remnant to connect onto the hasted Death Prophet. So the Remnant hit the creep. DP got away. Mars teleported for nothing into mid. But now he's all the way back to top. And he's gonna get Fiend Script too into the Skywrath ulti. The Mystic Flare is gonna be doing a heck of a lot of damage.
We're still alive.
Might find a return onto the Bane. But unfortunately, Winstrike, they're feeling a bit scared right now. And DP's gonna be hunting this Jakiro unless they've got some save available. But no can do. That 4-point Crypt Swarm is an absolute killer.
The Press Kid is aware. No Mars, I cannot die. There's just no way that you kill him without the arena. That's why he runs in like a madman there and just gets a bonus kill. The Exorcism will not result in a tower, but the mid lane tower is falling low either way. You can see how Ramses is nicely playing. His the second his team goes towards the top lane, he rotates towards mid, pushes in the wave, and makes sure that Winstrike will have to deal with that as well. It's 6-6 in kills, but in terms of net worth, the side of CIS Rejects are just doing so freaking well. And this is pre-blink of the Sand King. He decided not to go from the Ring of Health. No reason to be greedy. Once there's a blink, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, another attempt. Laurel is trying to play aggressive. Get silence. Notice coming here from the side. They're gonna lose the Void Spirit. That was a bit optimistic from Winstrike. They thought they had more, but it felt like the rest of the team was afraid to commit to it. So they just lost their Void Spirit for nothing. They're gonna lose a tower too.
Yep.
They
the
just
tower
handed it out for CIS Rejects.
I think that Roger has a pretty clear idea what he needs to do. He pretty much maxed out the Ancient Seal. You very rarely see this one because he knows I see the Void Spirit and I kill him. And so Neko, he's just gonna be a bonus. Ramses already has the Crystal. The amount of damage he's doing is insane. And the Hawk, he doesn't even have the Battle Fury yet. He has the two swords.
They might just dive him under here. They're coming in from the back. Pasha, Ramses looking for him in the trees. Torrent's not going to connect. Blur's still going to be there. And able to escape because they weren't sure where he's going to be. There's so many places you can be in on your PA. You can just jump out. So the Hawk dodges a bullet.
It is a problem now for Winstrike. Pasha and Roger, they can kill anyone, and we see them go for a smoke. Literally anyone dies. There is not a single hero on the side of Winstrike that can survive. There are no BKBs, there are no Yule Scepters. You don't have like a super tanky hero, let's say, with the hood. So someone is gonna die right now, and
yeah.
I think they would
Might
live
just
the
be
PA.
Mars. As they jump in with the blink, the Mystic Flare. Yep. That's quick work. Relocate used also on the IO. He's gonna go back to die.
Yeah, so bonus.
Yeah, you can see the tips. You can see the tips come in.
Yeah, they know that he's coming to give them a lot of gold, so they're quite happy with it. And with the silence, the poor Wisp.
Yeah, I like the idea of Force Major, quick reaction with the relocate, but he just they just lose notice so fast that he doesn't even have time to charge the relocate. FNG looking for a Nightmare onto Laurel, but able to jump into the trees. Which one is faster, actually? Nightmare or Fiend Script? I feel like Fiend Script's faster these days.
Fiend Script. I'm pretty sure it is.
Like if you just instant Fiend Script, I guess you could catch someone instead of using Nightmare to buy time for people to teleport. But then you sack the damage. Anyway, 3-man smoke coming in from CIS Rejects to right nearby. And Kunkka has finished a Shadow Blade, so he has his Armlet and soon a Silver Edge.
That is gonna be so hard for the Hawk.
They're gonna collapse. They're gonna collapse on both sides. Ramses has got the X mark on Seneko. The rest of the squad are coming in from the back. Pasha loading the epicenter. Jumps in. Beautiful stun on 2. PA's in trouble and might just lose her life. Yes, she will. Force Major also gonna be knocked out as he tethers himself on. He also gets caught there. Noda is going to be hit by another stun. Winstrike has just lost 4 members of their team. And this is looking way too easy for CIS Rejects. And this is the first tiebreaker match as well.
Yeah, they are crushing them. This is just a crushing of Winstrike, something that we haven't seen for a very long time. That they lose the early game so much. They're not allowed to play the game, Winstrike. And I think it comes down to it of CIS Rejects understanding how to set up their lanes and how to play them properly. You know, the DP, she lanes well against the Void Spirit. They send the Bane to the bottom lane, and despite the FNG making a mistake, they still secure a good lane for Pasha. And of course, the Kunkka. This hero pretty much always has a good laning stage, and I think that has been the way to beat Winstrike is that you crush them in the lanes. They Mag said that they put a lot of emphasis on lanes now, and to be honest, their lanes are not bad. The IO Mars, the PA, and the Jakiro. That just what makes it even worse is that Larl.
They just need one good silence from the DP. That's all they need. Trying to get closer. FNG's been revealed in the Great Wave. DP's will be right next to the Void Spirit. Doesn't get the silence out in time. Good reaction, but Laurel is faster. He's going to be making his way out. But they have found Roger. He's trying to kill Soneko, but this guy's going to be the one to die instead. So, something handed out for Winstrike with that 2-man rotation towards bottom. They're able to make a play on a support.
That is weird that Roger is alone. I think at this point there is no reason for Pasha and Roger not to be together at all times. Unless, let's say, Roger is with FNG. But Roger being alone in this game, there's just no reason for it. The Skywrath Mage just deals so much damage if the Bane is there to provide the lockdown, if the Sand King is there to provide the lockdown. And notice, he's looking very much dead.
Yeah. The right-click damage from Ramses is just nuts. That was a pretty sick Silver Edge Tidebringer onto the Mars. Absolutely obliterated after that. And PA has just finished Battle Fury 17 minutes in, so Winstrike just needs time. A lot of time, because they're not looking too hot right now. Pasha has got the epicenter onto Force Major. He's got the tether, but that's not going to help him much because he is also caught in an X-Mark Torrent combo. So that will be a dead IO.
Beautiful TP from the Hawk. It's weird to me that CIS Rejects didn't see he was tethered to the PA, but still the Hawk managed to get himself out. So at least something. The problem is you're looking at this PA, and we talked about the heroes of CIS Rejects that they don't have a lot of armor, but the PA, she's only level 10. With the level 1 coup de grace, it doesn't do any damage. And the Roche now, the next 5 minutes, usually the first Roche isn't that big of a deal because you can dodge the enemies. but you're playing against the Death Prophet. She uses the ulti and you kind of have to respawn. Does he have a BKB yet? Yes, he does. This is Depressed Kid. I like the itemization. He knows that the fight will be coming out because they'll force it out so hard. And with the BKB, he just doesn't die. The PA isn't doing the damage right now. And Winstrike, we talked about their mixed damage, but for now, until the Hawk is ready, they only do magical, and that DP will not be going down. Kunkka can't go down. You can kill the supports, you can kill the Sand King, but you need a really good initiation to do so. And the Hawk, goodbye, my friend.
Yeah, no luck for the Hawk. Yeah, you want to be farming with that Battle Fury, but fortunately there's just no place on the map where you're safe to farm. With CIS Rejects probably has a couple more games of experience. I know the Hawk is super experienced, but you really can't ignore the amount of experience on the side of this Dire team. That if this guy is going to be farming somewhere with a PA, I'm pretty sure Ramses knows where he's going to be moving all times during the entire game.
Did you see that Kunkka illusion? It stood no chance against Winstrike. They crushed it so freaking hard. So they can kill a Kunkka illusion. That is gonna give them a little bit of a confidence boost for sure. Right now, Winstrike, you have to take something. So bottom lane, fighting for the tier 2, not gonna happen. You lose the fight 10 out of 10 times. There's no way. I don't see a scenario that you win the fight with. So they're gonna take their tier 1. Trading something, opening up the map just a little bit for the Hawk is the way to go. Right now though, Winstrike are in such a position where they have to wait for a mistake of CIS Rejects. There is just no way. You need the Exorcism to be forced out, the BKB on the DP, and then maybe Catcher. The Kunkka, he's not dying, no freaking way, and this might actually be a high ground push. They also put a ward there, so let's see if anyone dares to the ward it. There it is, but Larl
Void Spirit, that does have the Yules, but the bolt almost connects onto the Void Spirit, but still not enough for CIS Rejects to actually follow up on that. They did force out the Macropire. They have Exorcism up. They don't need to force anything unnecessary, so they're just going to continue pushing out the waves and maybe attempt again. They still have another 2.5 minutes on the Aegis.
Very nice read from Winstrike that there might be a ward there. I think it was placed by Roger during nighttime, so there was no way that they knew about it, but they kind of understood that if there's a ward there, we're gonna lose the fight so freaking hard. So they do get it down. And with the smoke now, Winstrike, you usually want to catch the enemies on the retreat. The problem is they just put Ramses up front and there's no way about it. And at least FNG, no, they don't even have any vision. He gets the sleep off. This is just so sad. They have the X.
They want to kill FNG, but then at the same time, it's just no, not gonna happen. Fiend Script onto the Void Spirit, and IO might be the one to get out of this one, but Void's not gonna escape. He's not gonna escape after that X mark connecting on him.
The thing is, he even dodged the relocate with the dissimulate. So he was like, I'm gonna dodge the X, but maybe thought that the dissimulate won't be dodging the relocate. Those are some mechanics that sometimes you just don't know how it works, and you're hoping, you know, you're hoping at that point, okay, it works to break the X, but it doesn't work to break the relocate, because that's pretty much the only way that you're coming out of that situation alive, though. Unfortunately for Laurel, that is not how it works, and because of it, he will be he'll be brought down.
Well, they got to try desperation mode right now. Laurel, who we gave a lot of praise for him. I think we still give him a lot of praise. This game is definitely not just down to him. It's still in the end a teamwork game. Is required. The Hawk just needs to farm. While CIS Rejects, they want to end the game already. Depressed Kid walks into the PA and into the arms of FNG. Exorcism used. Jakiro tries to teleport away. PA, well, he's got some backup. Notice the Force Major. Nice zoning ulti there as well, keeping them away. But the BKB DP wants to keep up the chase. The Hawk, ooh, gets the jump out from Pasha. And Force Major will be the one to die. Close escape. Very good idea to drop down that zoning ulti, because it did buy them that extra few seconds.
Not the worst thing for Winstrike by any means. It shows desperation, that's the way that you're using the arena. You know, you build an arena, you're like, I want to fight, and then you just run away. You just keep the walls there, not allowing the enemies to go through.
He's gonna go for it. Aegis has just expired on Ramses, but he's still happy to fight this one. Double Tidebringers being thrown in, and the Huck is gone just like that, and he's going to BKB teleport away because he can.
I like the smoke now from Winstrike, but I kind of felt like Ramses could have stayed there, and there's no way that they kill him.
Marl already spotted. Oh, they missed the spear, and into the arms of Roger. Yule's coming out just in time, a depressed kid from the back. They need to get some kills, but right now nothing is going in their way. Epicenter slowing and doing a bit of damage onto the Mars. Another missed spear, if I noticed. He's just not landing them. He's trying to TP away, but he gets killed by the Crypt Swarm. Pasha's going to be finishing a Force Major, and they're going to be getting Soneko out as well from the sideline. And CIS Rejects, they just made sure they did not just get the PA before, they get 3 extras on top.
Man, they crushed them.
They've crushed this game.
Yeah, it is insane just how much they crushed them. When you lose the side lanes and you have a PA Jakiro and a Mars Wisp, it just goes to show that you got completely outplayed. CIS Rejects, they knew how they wanted to play this one from start to finish. Winstrike, they had an idea how they wanted to play the mid game. We could see that they made some nice moves with the Mars towards the mid lane to kill the depressed kid, but the thing is they were in such a big deficit that it was impossible for them to play, and you can see that the Hawk is going for a Deso. Right now, when you're playing a PA, the only time you would go for a Deso first before the BKB is if you're desperate. You're like, I have to kill these people. You don't have any regard for your life, and you're hoping that you're gonna be outplaying them. That is very unlikely to happen, but I like that at least Winstrike are playing to win.
Force Major, he used to relocate for double bounties, so even if Ramses gets a kill, that's still beneficial for Winstrike. But they've lost the Mars. FNG seems to be everywhere on the map. He's always grabbing somebody inside the Nightmare. And that's a double now for the Kunkka. Might be even 3. Soneko tries to push out the wave early on with the Macro Pyre. And Ramses is going to be going straight past this Jakiro, and he teleports away. Had no idea he was actually hiding in the trees to teleport out. And now FNG is in top, but Pasha's also going to be there. Larl sitting on a reward.
This is the most patient Bane I have ever seen. He pretty much goes around the map and puts himself inside of the Shadow Amulet and waits for someone. And Larl, he's caught. He's dead. This is just so sad.
That's patience. Someone tip this man. This guy's been absolutely like he knows this game has gone so far. It's gone to the point where your opponent is desperate for split pushing that you just need to be there. The opponent literally has one option to do right now, so you're doing the right thing on your Bane. You're just waiting. You got that +1 on top, and you can kill anyone.
So usually if you would see an inventory like this in your pubs on the Bane, you'd be like, we've lost, because he would be somewhere in the woods, just invisible, not wanting to get an abandoned. But FNG, he shows that any build can work, and I really like what he's doing. This is just amazing that he's waiting inside of the Shadow Amulet for so long. The thing is, you know, as you said, in this kind of a game, the enemies have one play. It is the split push, and this is a perfect counter to that. I really like how FNG played this game. He has done an outstanding job from understanding what he needs to do in the lane to actually now just catching people left and right. And Winstrike, 20k gold deficit, 26 minutes in. This is one of the biggest deficits that we've seen them so far, and especially since they got Laurel playing for them.
They got the arena blazed down. They are trying to get Pasha out of the way. The Hack has a lot of damage to provide, but right now sitting very alone. Notice will go down first. The Exorcism is going to be taking down on the PA, and PA down. GG well played is called by Soneko. We can call this first game quits. CIS Rejects 1-0, Winstrike 0-1. That will be the first game played. 5 more to go.
Okay, there is some bad blood between these teams, because Pasha said GG close game. So either they're really good friends and they are just kind of messing with each other, or they are
they?
Well, usually in the CIS region in Eastern Europe, that is not the case. That is why you don't see too many good teams, because a lot of players don't want to play with some other player. You know, it's pretty much the close to that in my country as well. I guess we don't in Serbia. We're not the Eastern Europe region. We still are in the Western, but it is the similar mentality. So you know,
shout out to cancel.
Yeah, so there is a lot of players that don't want to be playing with some other guys. So there is a good chance that this is not a that this is a bad blood moment, really, and not really. We're really good friends, so let's mess around a bit.
All right. Well, we finished our first game. We still have plenty of Dota coming up. Next up, we're gonna have Hydra versus V Gaming. So our other two teams out of the top 4 will be matching up against each other. That game should be starting roughly in 10 to 15-ish minutes. So not going to be too long of a break, and we're still on schedule. So we'll see you in a bit.